Welcome to Rock the Life, a podcast for fans by fans. I'm Katya.
I'm Amy.
And Amy, who do we have today?
Oh my gosh, I'm super excited about today's guest. I think I probably say that every week. But a few months ago, I guess now, we kind of got a hold of an idea about exploring the next generation of rock and what's going to go on and how that's going to happen and how we're going to continue to carry this torch. And we've connected with some young artists. Well, today's episode features another young artist who I feel like is a total package. He's got a look, he's got a style, he's got talent. He can sing, he can play guitar. His songwriting skills at 16. I am so excited as to what he's going to do and where he's going to go. So, you guys, meet Lex.
Here we go. Hi, Lex. Welcome to Rock the Life. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Okay, and where are we coming at you from? Where are you located right now?
Columbus, Ohio.
See, okay, perfect. Again, West Coast, East Coast, and Europe. So we did it again. We crossed the globe. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much for being on. I have to say, Amy discovered you on Instagram, and among other ways, and was like, you got to listen to Lex and see him. You're going to be blown away, and that's exactly what happened. We are so excited for your music, what you're doing now, and what you're going to be doing in the future. So first,
Mm-hmm.
tell us about your musical journey so far. What have you been doing?
So really, it's been kind of crazy. Like I started when I was 9. I found an interest in that. Like I just kind of found that and loved playing guitar. Like I kept on doing that every day. It just kept on going, and then I started writing during like just trying to figure out how to even do that process. And then I did this thing called Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp that really taught me about like how to actually do this as a career and really testing me like, do I want to do this? And I definitely do. Um, and then
That's
I working on a record, and then it's kind of where I am now, like just playing shows and
well,
recording.
an amazing journey, but why don't you tell everyone how old you are?
I'm 16. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Bit
you've
by
been
the
going
bug.
out, yeah, been going out for 7 years. So when you were 9, what were you listening to that made you think that wanted to pick up the guitar?
I know I was listening to like Jack White, Motley Crue, Def Leppard. Like those were some of my
Mm.
first bands that I ever heard of. Like Queen, that was another one that I was very invested in.
So when you were
That's
like
awesome.
9, 10, were you playing rock music or what were you playing back then?
Like total like 80s hair metal rock. Like that's what I wanted to do.
We're
Giant
all like,
Kiss fan.
And have you
Ace
seen
Frehley.
Ace Frehley? Oh, no.
yeah,
So have
yeah.
you seen any of, or what was your first concert? Who did I'll say your parents maybe took you to, but what was your first concert?
I was going to concerts like even before I had an interest in music. Like my parents always loved music, but I think the first show that I like truly loved was the Ace Frehley concert. Like it was him solo, and it was at the House of
Nice.
Blues. That was actually kind of interesting because I played the House of Blues and I did the meet and greet for Ace Frehley, and my dressing room was the place where I met Ace.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
That's amazing.
okay, there's so many things that you've just talked about in the first minute that I want to like delve back into between Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp and playing House of Blues. But okay, let's just even go, what was that one wow moment where you were, let's see, you might have been playing or before you picked up the guitar that made you think, I want to be a musician?
Um, Really, I think I was like just seeing all these people. Like I was mainly watching like YouTube videos of just all these music videos. So like just Motley Crue, old videos, and Def Leppard. That made me really, really want to play music as a career. I
That's
think
I
awesome.
get that.
it might have been
Yeah.
like Pour on Me, like video, like the live one. Like
Yeah, yeah. It was like the
Really?
old MTV, man. It's YouTube now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't have to
I
sit
agree.
around for like every 2, 3 hours waiting for repeat. So it's even better,
Yeah.
right? More access to the music.
Right,
Now
right.
we talk a lot about fan experiences. So I want to ask you, have you had an experience as a fan of a musician that really meant something to you?
So my favorite fan experience was when I got to go to Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, and I got to play with Richard Fortus from GNR, and we got to play. Uh, it was a Thin Lizzy song. It was Jailbreak, and it was one of the coolest moments ever.
So now tell to people who don't know what Rock and Roll Fantasy Camping is, say something about it. What is it?
So Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp is basically uh, you sign up for this thing where there's mainly like three headliners, and like it mainly fits into like one genre. Like the one that I did was like 80s, and what they do is like you sign up and then you figure out like what you're gonna play, and then everybody gets into a group together, and there's probably like 8 in like the whole entire camp, and I was in one of those groups, and then you just keep on playing. So like I know for my rock and roll fantasy camp, I got to play at the Viper Room one night, and then
Could
the
you
next night
imagine?
at the Whiskey a Go Go.
What?
That's incredible. That's so, Lex, how old were you when you did that?
I think I was around like 14.
And how old were the other musicians you were playing with?
So this is actually kind of funny. Mainly all of those like people that signed up for rock and roll fantasy camp were like in their like late 50s, like they're just like there to have a really good time and just like live out their rock and roll fantasy. Um, but in my group, the drummer in that band is now my drummer in my band.
Oh,
So he was around, I think, 16, like when I
okay,
was
cool.
doing fantasy camp. And it was really cool because we got along super duper well. Like had the same interests in like music and like even like just the career that we wanted to like choose. So like that it was a really cool experience just knowing all those people.
That's so
And
fun. So I have a quick question. What you're on stage at the Viper Room and the Whiskey, and you've got these amazing people around you, and you're doing a Thin Lizzy song. Like, do you feel like you're dreaming and you're kind of going, what is happening here? What's going through your brain? Is this were you just so incredibly high in that moment? You're like, I never want this to end. How was that experience for you?
It was just unreal. Like I because it was almost like how did I get here? Because like I was impressing the guy from Queen. Like it was Spike Edley. Like it and that like that was insane to me because I love Queen and like I'm impressing him. And then like even playing with Richard Fortus, and then I played with Ricky Rocket like at the Whiskey a Go Go like from Poison, then John Five from Motley Crue.
yeah.
That's
So now, have you
incredible.
since Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, have you seen any of those guys, Ricky Rocket or John Five or Richard Fortus?
So I haven't seen Ricky Rocket or Richard Fortus, but I have seen a John Five show. Not exactly when that was, but like I got to meet him like after uh,
That's
fantasy.
very,
That's
that
excellent.
is so cool. Well, so now you mentioned your band. Tell us about your band.
Hmm.
So
So we
my
know how you
band,
met one member, but tell us about the others.
so I met Jackson through fantasy camp, and that was like pretty much like the first member of my band. And then through Jackson, I met Angie, and she's my bass player. And Jackson and Angie were in a band together, and that's how I got connected with Angie. And then it's actually funny, my guitar player, he saw the While We're Still Young video, and he just absolutely loved it. And he absolutely wanted to be a part of it. And he reached out to me and just said, hey, if you need a guitar player, I'm here. So like, and I kind of needed a guitar player at that point. So like it worked perfectly.
Well,
That's
so now tell us,
amazing.
you play guitar also.
Yeah.
And so in the band, are you singing and playing guitar and writing songs?
Yeah.
I know.
That is,
Do you guys write as a group, like your band? Do you have outside kind of like a team that comes together to work on it? Is it a band thing? How do you go about writing your songs?
So the band wasn't really formed when we started writing. Like we were just like it was really just me. Like I knew Jackson at that point, but like he wasn't like a part of like the writing sessions. Like he recorded on like the first part of the record, but like it was me and Tuck Smith. Tuck Smith is my producer, and my dad contributed a little bit into the writing. So like it was really just a team of writers. Like we would just figure out what we wanted to write about and then just go with it.
Well, I have to say, um, Lex, one of the things that I told Katya, I was like, you've got this brand, whatever, you've got this look, which is a really cool look, and your songs and your songwriting, it's up there, Lex. I mean, you're 16, so obviously you're going to grow. But I'm like, Katya, I am rocking out here. I am listening to these songs. It feels good. I was like, I felt like, have you ever seen, oh God, I'm totally dating myself. Have you ever seen the Jamie Lee Curtis and, oh my gosh, Lindsay Lohan version of Freaky Friday? Okay.
Yes.
So I was sitting there getting ready today, listening to, oh gosh, it wasn't While Still Young. It was last song.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I was sitting in the mirror and I was like, oh my gosh, the way I was singing and just in the mirror, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like Jamie Lee Curtis in that movie. But it was fun and I loved it. And that does bring me to the question that I was so afraid I was going to forget. So you have a line in
So long.
it is. It's so
long.
long. Thank you. Yeah, because I texted Katya and I was like, don't let me forget to ask this question. Stay Gold. Is this an Outsiders reference?
Actually, I just thought of that. Like we didn't do that.
Okay.
That song, I know that song was a little hard to write because we had some writer's block. Like it took a few days, and it's like a very meaningful song because like it sometimes like those weird ideas like make some of the best songs.
Okay.
But
No, keep
like
going. Sorry.
Long Goodbye is about my grandma years ago, but it was really a cool song to write.
It's a very cool song.
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest to you, and especially with this whole look that you have, that you go and watch The Outsiders. It's actually more from our era, but that is one of the big sayings in there is stay gold. And so when I heard it, I've got some kids who have just gone through and read and watched The Outsiders. I'm going to suggest to you that you go check that out because you might. It's a great book, movie.
Yeah.
The book's better.
Yeah, I actually love that movie. I watched it. Yeah, like I really loved it a lot.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, I'm good. I was so excited. I'm like, I got my question in.
Oh, hey, Randy.
Hey, but the Stay Gold thing was a little more subliminal. Like he had watched, like he liked it, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's I got that from that after he said that he'd seen it. That's where I was like, maybe it wasn't like intentional, but it was in the brain, and I got that.
Yeah, so, I mean, we even talked about doing a video that kind of like references The Outsiders. Like,
that would be awesome.
I can see it. Oh, okay. Lex, okay, I'm so sorry. Lex, this is sound crazy. I'm a total fan, but Taylor Swift video has some Easter eggs, 80s references in it too, doesn't it? I saw you holding the boom box. Yeah, I saw that, and there were a couple others in there. Can you give us a little hint on the other Easter eggs in that video?
Yeah, so like it was mainly based around Breakfast Club. Like that was the main focus.
Yep.
And, like in the middle of it, like we did like a Ferris Bueller, like first day off. Like just running around the city and like trying to head back to school.
It was
Um,
phenomenal. It was great.
Well, Amy, I've just been, and Lex, I've been singing Taylor Swift. Like, I pulled out a Taylor Swift shirt. I can't really see it in the video, but I was thinking of you, so I had to put that on because, like, I love the song and I've been singing that one. And Amy and I love the video for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that was a super fun video to shoot. It was a lot of fun.
It
So
sounded like it. It seemed like it.
so I have to ask, has any of the Swifties reached out to you or made any mention of that song?
Um, really, like a lot of people love that song. Like I know there's some people like saying, "Oh, we got to get this in front of Taylor." Like it, there's a bunch of people that really, really like that song.
No,
Yeah.
well, I have to think back of like when Taylor Swift first started, she had a song Alan Jackson, right? And it was just like every time
Oh
she'd
yeah.
sing it to Alan Jackson, I'd like get all teary eyed and cry. I think no, it's beautiful, it's fun, and I think it's great.
Lex, I have a question. How did you come up with a concept for the Taylor Swift video? Like, was this a powwow and we're putting this together, or did you have a producer who said, I heard this song and this is what I want to do with it?
So, so Tuck, like he was a part of that video. He was actually a major part of the Taylor Swift video, and just the planning of it. The director slash cameraman, like he knows Tuck really, really well, and they do a bunch of videos together.
Oh,
So like
excellent.
they formed like a solid idea. Like they wanted to do like a Ferris Bueller and Breakfast Club type video, and
Yeah,
that's like really what how we got that script.
that's awesome. It's a really fun video. I'll put the link to your YouTube in the show description, but I'll try to get it at the end of our interview, and then that way, since we're just so gaga over it.
Beth, have you seen those movies? Have you seen Breakfast Club and
Yeah, yeah,
I,
just
yeah. I love.
he,
Yeah,
yeah. I was like, once he said he'd seen The Outsiders, I was like, okay, he's seen all the other ones too. Yeah,
yeah. I love
that's
those movies. Yeah,
yeah.
well, it's the music, the movies. It was a fun time. It was we were a little young for it, but it was a fun time looking back that we were still able to grab onto a lot of the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But I could say
Mm-hmm.
90s weren't no, 90s weren't too bad either. So that is
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Had a good time.
okay. So I'm going to ask you. I want to hear more about you performing and playing. So
Mm.
in October, you played with Everclear. Tell us about that.
so Everclear like just heard about my music and they just absolutely loved it, and they knew that I'm from Ohio, so like they invited me to come out to Cleveland and open for them. It was a really cool experience that they let me do that, and actually, uh, it was like a almost like a bigger show because Everclear wasn't like the only act. It was Everclear, Marcy Playground, and Jimmy's Chicken Shack, like that were all on that show.
That's
So how do
awesome.
you, what was the audience like for that? Were they more people our age? Because I mean, this is some of the music I grew up with. Did you play to an older crowd, or are they pulling in audiences more your age?
You know, it was really like a mixed bag. Like it was just
Fantastic.
that love rock and roll. Like it, there wasn't like one specific demographic. Like it was just people that wanted rock and roll.
That's
And
excellent. How big was
what
the
was
crowd? Oh,
yeah? How big
sorry.
was it? Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, how
Yeah,
big was that
yeah.
crowd?
You know, like I heard like it was around like 1,000 cap, but like when you're looking down at like the audience, I could only see like 20 people because there's like
Yeah,
one like tiny spotlight, but like everything else is just darkness, and you don't know how
yeah,
far it goes out.
yeah. It's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
bet, and I can only bet the reaction of the fans. I bet they absolutely loved it. With that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know I had a blast. Like it.
That's what counts, man. That's what counts. And I feel like when you're up there and you're having a good time, there's not anybody who's going to watch you and not enjoy that
yes,
show.
Yeah,
You
when
know,
exactly.
when the whole band's having a good time, like it's gonna feed off that energy. So like the audience is gonna
Mhm.
have a good time.
Yep, you're
Absolutely.
exactly right.
Absolutely. So do you have a tour planned or what are you doing? Are you going around playing music or what, how many shows have you been doing?
So in the summer, we just had like a few shows in Ohio. We don't have anything booked right now. There is like we don't have any specifics, but stuff is coming soon, like in 2025. Like we just finished the record, so that hopefully should be coming soon. But
Can you tell us the name of the record?
um we're actually not sure what the record's gonna even be
Okay,
called.
no problem. No problem.
Yeah, so like asking that question myself, like I
What are we gonna title this thing? That's awesome. Now, are you putting the songs that are currently available and currently out there on the album?
yeah. So like Taylor Swift, While We're Still Young, all those songs will be on there.
That's excellent.
Well, yeah, so that's
That's
going to give me like, I'd say, yeah, back in the day, touring was a way to reach fans too, but now that's not the way. You can reach fans in so many ways. What way have you found that you've enjoyed reaching out to fans the best?
I think one of the best is like just going out and playing live shows, but like that isn't the case for like, because you can't do live shows every single day. But
Unfortunately.
unfortunately, but I think the best is having like a good connection through social media
Mm,
is just like talking to your fans. So like they have a connection to you, because if they
mm.
have a connection to you, they'll be invested like in your music stuff and they'll want to know. Like if you have another show coming up, like one of the first shows that my band played, it was in the middle of nowhere in Ohio. And there was a girl that was like such a big fan that traveled, I think, like 6 hours for like a 30-minute show. And it was like pouring down rain. Like we really thought there was only going to be some locals there and like just people walking around. It was like First Fridays thing. But like those are like some of the fans like you need.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
have to say,
she's.
Amy, it sounds kind of like us. I don't know.
I know. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. So you definitely have your group of day ones. So that's phenomenal. That's exciting.
It really is.
How did you feel like when you found that out and you're like, "Oh my gosh." Like what was that inside for you? Were you just kind of like, "What?"
So I felt two things. I felt just like I didn't know that people wanted to even see the show, because like in my mind, like, oh yeah, I'm still taking lessons. Like why are you traveling 6 hours? But then like like feel super thankful for that person, like to drive
Yeah.
all that way up there just to see that show.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
excellent.
I think that's only going to increase. Well, okay, you also
Mhm.
mentioned something. Are you still taking lessons?
Yeah. So like, there's always more to learn. Um,
Okay.
I haven't been able to do like all that many like um weekly lessons because there's just been so much stuff going on right now that like there just isn't time for that. But I still take lessons.
Yeah,
That's
wow,
awesome.
that's yeah. Well, and that's also one of those cases too where sometimes you outpace your teacher. That's what I was just wondering. Like listening to you, watching you
Yeah.
play, I wonder. I was like, yeah, who's actually teaching you? So that and
And are
so
you
tell us.
taking,
Go ahead.
sorry, are you taking vocal lessons, guitar lessons, or both?
I'm taking both, like mainly on Saturdays. Like I have one teacher that like mainly focuses on vocals, but is like a genius on guitar. So like he'll help
Mm,
me with anything that I need. And then my other teacher just focuses on guitar.
Okay.
that's excellent. That's perfect for
So
you.
how are you keeping a balance with your career in music and school?
So last year it was kind of tricky because I did in-person school, and
Mm,
there were many days that had to be taken off. School wasn't all that happy with it, but now I'm doing an online school, so like it's asynchronous, so I can really do school whenever I want. So like I can
Okay,
time off, like if I'm doing like a tour, like I don't,
absolutely.
but then I can just go hard at it again like after.
it's
Did you
awesome.
ever did you ever play any shows at your school, at your high school?
No, a lot of people at my high school just didn't think I was serious, because like when telling 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds that you just made a record over the summer and like all these things are gonna happen, no one's gonna really believe you.
Well, you're showing them.
I know that is. Oh, I love that. Um, so tell us also about, we want people to be able to connect with you and hear your music. Tell us about some of the platforms you're on and what you do on those platforms.
So like I'm on Spotify, Apple, like TikTok, Instagram, and really we try to like just promote like what we have going on. So like if that's like a show or if that's like a new music releasing. But really we want to make like a good foundation like for the fans like to connect with us. Because what oh, and YouTube, sorry, I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
YouTube.
YouTube too. That's it. Okay, so I'm also going to ask if you're thinking about like the next year coming up or the next few years, if you could play any show or venue, what would it be?
Mm.
I would love to play Budokan Japan just because of like the Cheap Trick record, like live at Budokan.
Okay, that I think that would be.
That's awesome.
And who would you want to open for you?
Um, I think like there's so many artists I can think of. But I think I think person that I would want to open for me is Tuck Smith, my producer.
Oh, awesome. Okay, that
That's excellent.
so
That
now have
shows
you
your heart, young man.
that
I
shows
love
I
it.
know.
I
I
love that.
love it. So
Yeah.
if we were gonna have people like to get to know you better, and if we were to say pick a handful of songs that kind of represent you or your style, different artists, who would you pick?
Uh, Surrender by Cheap Trick. I've Done Everything for You by Rick Springfield, and Freak of the Week by Marvelous 3.
Marvelous Three. Yeah, that's it. Okay,
Nice.
Freak of the Week is a fantastic one too. And actually, now that you said that, like I'm thinking, you're also giving me some Rick Springfield vibes. We talked
Yeah.
about the John Bon Jovi, Richie Sambora too. Like, love it.
Hmm. I mentioned John Cougar Mellencamp because I see a little bit of that. Just attitude wise, I see a lot of that.
Yeah, mainly the
So
ones that I get is like Rick Springfield, John Bon Jovi, and David Cassidy. That's the other
Oh
one.
my gosh, I love it.
yes, yeah, okay, okay. Okay, were you familiar with David Cassidy before somebody said that to you?
I actually wasn't. Like I had
Yeah,
to look it up, but like it was insane looking. Like just
yeah.
yeah,
David Cassidy, is that like
I
that's
see
like
that.
seven? That's like 70s, right?
yeah,
I thought,
60s
70s.
or
what was
70s?
that? No,
The
didn't you
Partridge
ever
Family.
watch? Yes, the Partridge Family.
Partridge
Didn't
Family.
you ever? Yeah, yeah. Oh, I totally. Now I can't unsee it. Thanks, Lex. I'm like, oh man, no, it's right. Wow, it's right
And at
on.
the time, like I had like the same haircut, like not knowing that I had that.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
I love it. That works. I also wanted to ask you because knowing other teenage boys, which Amy and I have some of our own, I was going to ask you about your style and how do you come up with your look? Because it absolutely fits you.
Yeah.
Yes, like I take inspiration like from like artists that like I really like. Um, I'm a big Goo Goo Dolls fan, like Johnny Rzeznik. So like I look at some of that stuff, but there's a brand that like I've really like. It's called Warn Star. They make just some of the best rock and roll jeans. Like they fit really good and they're really comfortable. I know like
Excellent.
did one show and it was I think 100 degrees. Like it's just yeah, horrible. And I had these things that look like leather pants. They're called wax denim. Like, and they're insane. They're super breathable and they look like leather pants. And I know everybody thought I was gonna die because uh it was in the middle of July and I'm
Oh,
wearing looks like leather pants, but they were just like regular jeans.
That is
that's
so.
amazing.
And I was going to ask, do you shop retro or are your clothes like modern clothes, but they just fit your right style?
I try to look for vintage clothes, but there's just so much. Like some of like the newer stuff is a lot cheaper, and I'm
Hmm.
growing. Like it's kind of hard to buy like a two hundred
Yeah,
dollar shirt that's
that's
all
true.
all art. So
Yeah,
That's true. No,
yeah.
yeah, good. Yeah, good on you. That's it.
Yep, yep. Excellent. Well, Lex, I really think that, especially based on all of the pictures that you put out, the vibe of your Instagram page and your videos on YouTube, you definitely have an amazing look about you and just your style, the package, the music. It's going to take you. It's going to take you far. I think
That's
so.
great.
hey, yeah.
And also for 2025, are there any concerts that you're looking forward to going to?
There's actually one show that I'm like really hoping I'm gonna be able to get to. It's a Sawyer Brown show. They're playing in Nashville, so I'm hoping to go to that. I think it's their like 6,000th show.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
that
excellent. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna highly recommend that while you're there, that you stop by JBJ Nash. It's really a cool. The stage is really really cool. Um, 16. I'd suggest going before 6 p.m. because I think we talked to one girl who plays there a little bit, and I think they cut it off for under 21 at that point. I'm not exactly sure, but I you would love it.
Amy made a pilgrimage there.
Yeah, I did. I did. It was really great. And honestly, Lex, you do really well on that stage. So, if you're going to do that, make it a business trip, make the whole thing tax deductible, and see if you can get up on that JBJ Nash stage because that would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
And I want to ask another question about the music industry these days that you're emerging and getting into it. We hear like back in our day, it was all
Mhm.
like Hollywood, Los Angeles, New York, a touch of Chicago, but Nashville. So how are you finding it working in the industry? Do you need to travel to any of those cities, or is so much can be done now online?
So stuff can be done online, but really like the main reason like we've been going to Nashville is because
Oh, yeah.
Tuck's studio, like we
Mm.
write at his studio, and that's a main reason why we keep on going back to Nashville. But like my band is like scattered across the country. Um, so like Jackson and Angie, they're from LA. And then my
Oh,
guitar player, he and Preston, he's from Seattle. So like it well, really what we thought, like, it doesn't really matter, like, if the musicians, like, are all spread apart. Like, if we're on tour, we're all together.
yes. So do you guys practice and collaborate online with each other?
No, like, we mainly, like, send out a band text, like, this is a set list. You're gonna come in, like, a day before the show. We practice, and then we're ready.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is.
Everybody
Well,
puts their work, so, like, it doesn't really matter to have, like, those practice days, like, just only for practice and not leading up to a show.
wow, that is awesome.
Lex, I really appreciate your music because it really takes me back a little bit. Like you have your own spin on it, your own current modern day spin a little bit, quite a bit actually on it, but it really does let me feel that way. And I think that music's biggest asset is the way that it makes people feel. I've always had this
Yeah.
connection where if you don't have the words to say, you can find a song that can express how you feel, like if you're unable. And I feel like right now with what you've got going on, it's super fun. And it's like I said, it takes me back. I was been listening to it for a while, but especially this morning, getting ready for this and just having a blast with it. It's one of those that if you need a good time, I would encourage anybody to check it out. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was really the goal. Like I saw that there was kind of like in music now, there isn't someone doing like really positive music. Like it's mainly
Hmm.
like sad music, or even like just the rock factor of it. Like no one's really doing like a rock pop thing, because mainly now it's just straight pop, or it's like
Mm-hmm.
incredible hard rock. Um,
Yes.
so, like, I never wanted to do like cheap trick type music,
Mm-hmm.
but like my own spin on it, because, and that's like a problem with some of like newer bands. Like they're trying to be like an exact copy of something that like
Mm-hmm.
already worked. Like if
Mm-hmm.
whether that like like a Queen or Rolling Stones, like some of those like just giant iconic bands. Like I want to
Mm-hmm.
do my type of thing while still taking influence from old things and new things.
And
Yeah.
that's what I find totally
Mm-hmm.
exciting because
Yeah. Yeah.
it's keeping the music alive, but it's not listening to the same music from the 80s but or the 90s. It's something new. It's fun and I love it. Like I said, it got us really excited because we found it.
we said it before. I'll probably take this out because I'm saying it over and over again. But I did. I sent Katya and I was like, you have got to check this out. Like, this is exciting. And we used to do that back, when we were really active in the music scene, is we would find something, send it to the other person and say, let's go. And it was one of those where, especially in our club days, we would follow that band all up and down the West Coast. And so that's, and you have that. You have somebody willing to drive 6 hours to see you. And I think
Yeah.
that's phenomenal. I think hold on to that. And one other thing you mentioned, pop and rock, and you really have the perfect blend. Like when I listen to you, I'm reminded way back, because here we go, dating ourselves again. Way back before you had a country station, and then you had AM radio, and then you had everything else. And it was rock. You had Def Leppard and Michael Jackson on the same station. You had Prince and Joan Jett and Laura Branigan, for goodness sakes, look her up. All on one station. And I feel like that's your vibe. And you don't find it well blended anymore. And I just appreciate that so much.
It's just good music, right? It's just good music. That's what it is. And
yeah, really our goal, like we just wanted to take the best parts of every type of music, like 70s music, 80s music, 90s music, 2000s music, because there's people online saying, oh, this sounds 70s, oh, this sounds 90s. But we really just try to make it sound like a blend. So like you don't even know like what's going on. Yeah.
It's just good music. That's it. That's what it is. And
it's excellent.
So tell us, like, you're obviously 16, and I know a lot of this it's you doing it, but tell us about the support of your family in the music business.
It's very, very supportive. I know that they've said that like if I wasn't doing the music thing, they would still be pushing as hard at like something like this, like if I wanted to be like a doctor or even like a baseball player. But like I chose to do music, and I know that they said like we're just wanting to help you like succeed like with your dream. So I
love that.
Yeah. So like I just love playing music. It's what I truly want to do.
And they're there to be supportive. I think that's wonderful. So it's which makes it's so great to see whenever you hear some really horrid stories of musicians like thrown out of the house, living on the street, no support. And you're like, just imagine if they had a family behind them or good friends behind them to support them, how nice that would be. So that's awesome.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? 21.
Yeah. So like I'm really hoping like for like a stable tour that like will just like we'll be able to like to invest in like real estate. So like I won't really have to worry about money, because like that's really my goal. Like so to make this a job, because like I don't want to blow it on like just, like a crazy car, or like I want to invest it and make sure that like I'm stable for the rest of my life.
That's awesome.
Smart too.
And in 5 years, Amy, he will be in those clubs in Nashville, either watching bands, but I think more likely tearing up the stage. So that's going to be.
And I do want to say, like I said, like usually we flow a little bit easier, but I do want to go ahead and tell you that we'd love to have you back as you grow. Like we're going to see you hitting some clubs. We're going to see, that record come out. And as that launches, we'd love to help you promote it. I'm not kidding when I tell you we really see your talent, and would love to help you just keep going. Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I would love to come back.
Taylor Swift. I'm a little you think I got a bad reputation, but I heard about you too. Yeah, you're no angel, and I know you're kinda like a wild streak. Ever since your parents called the cops on me, you told your friends I was nothing but trouble the minute I walked in. They say love's a dangerous game, but you gotta play to win. Come on, baby. Take a chance on us, take a chance on love. It's crazy, but it might be fun. Right or wrong, born or run. You could wear my black leather jacket while I drug your daddy's Maybach. Come on, baby. Take a chance on us, take a chance on love. I'm a little bit cheap trick. You're a little bit Taylor Swift. So come on, baby. Take a chance on us, take a chance on love. It's crazy, but it might be fun. Right or wrong, born or run. You could wear my black leather jacket while I crash your daddy's Maybach. Come on, baby. Take a chance on us, take a chance on love. You're a little bit Taylor Swift. So come on, baby. I'm a little bit cheap trick. Come on, baby. You're a little bit Taylor Swift. Take a chance on us, take a chance on love.
Amy, thank you so much for introducing me to Lex's music. And it's hard
That's
for me to
amazing.
even say up and coming because I feel the music's already there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's that cross between Richie Sambora, John Bon Jovi, John Mellencamp, Rick Springfield, and David Cassidy, but I
I
love it.
know.
I love it.
I'm telling you, it's he's everything all rolled into one and still totally uniquely himself. If that makes
Exactly.
any sense at all. Like
No, no, no,
there's
it
something.
does. And that's it. And I was even going to say, like, even when I saw that he opened for Everclear, that even got me because I'd say way back
Mhm.
in the 90s, 2000s, when I was like going to school, young mom, I would listen to Everclear on repeat and
Mhm.
listening to those songs. Like, I love that whole vibe in music. And to know that
Mhm.
he is now playing with them, opening for them, I was like, that's the show I want to go see. I don't
Yeah.
care who's
Yeah.
opening for one or the other, but
Yeah.
it works even with beyond 80s rock.
Yeah.
That's like the
Yeah.
90s 2000 rock that I was
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
combination.
Yeah.
I can't
He
wait to go see them. I'm going to
I
be
know.
looking for them. I can't wait to see
I'm
him and his band play.
yeah, I'm really loving the music. It's I I don't know how else to express it other than I'm excited to see where he's going to go because he really does have this whole vibe. It takes time to develop that when you're young, and at 16 he's got a good grasp on it, and it's exciting to watch. It's
Good head on his
completely
shoulders.
exciting to watch.
Well,
Yeah. Oh my
and in
gosh, didn't want an expensive car. I love this kid. I'm like, wow. Oh, seriously.
well,
Yeah.
and in the meantime, also the videos are great too. So until
Mm-hmm.
then, I'll have them on Spotify, Apple Music, and watch those
Mm-hmm.
videos. Oh, and
So
speaking
fun.
of, Amy, tell me, what should people do on our social media?
Oh, shoot. Give us a follow on Instagram at RockTheLife Girl. I got so excited about Lex and his future that I almost completely forgot. Come follow us on Instagram at RockTheLife Girl. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Go and subscribe to Lex's channel and watch those videos. They are so fun. They're really a blast. And if you feel like rocking some Rock the Life merch, feel free. You can find it all at rtlmerch.com. And I think that's it. This one leaves me really, I think all the episodes leave me really excited because this show feels good. You
It
know what I
does.
mean?
And Amy, I am loving the introductions as I'm finding more music that keeps me really excited. So until the next episode, Aim, don't forget.
Yeah, don't forget. Rock the life.
Rock the life.
Oh, so funny. All right. Bye, babe.
Okay. Bye, babe. Love ya.
Love ya.